Minister, this morning, President Granger held a bilateral meeting with the President of the Federated Republic of Brazil, and a number of areas were discussed. But mainly, there was the signing of those two agreements, and one of them was infrastructure. Can you go into what that agreement entails and how it's going to be beneficial to Guyana?
Well, the agreement on infrastructure is an agreement that, first of all, recognizes that the two countries are interested in enhancing the infrastructure between them for purposes of economic integration, basically, economic and social integration. And more specifically, when Minister Patterson and I were here on the last occasion, July, we did have discussions with our counterparts regarding how to take this process forward. And the discussion led to the decision that the two countries would provide financial resources for the engineering design of the road. Let them to Linden, that road. I mean, we call it that now, but it may, in the end, have other names because have another name. But anyhow, that is basically what it is. The engineering design probably would cost somewhere in the region of 5 to 10 million. I think there is some doubt as to the exact amount. And between the two countries and another partner, probably one of the multilateral or regional banks, they will close that financing package so that that design can enable us to start tying up the funding for the road and moving to the construction.
But Minister, for the layman Guyanese, in real terms, what does this agreement mean? How does it bring us closer? How much closer?
Well, it brings us a lot closer because, first of all, we had been speaking about this with the Brazilians for a long time. Guyana has been speaking about it for ages. The funding of the road clearly is a challenge to both countries. Guyana is very small, so this is a big burden in terms of the financing costs. I think 2 to 400 million. I can't remember the exact amount. And in order to conclude financing of such a project, you have to have all the technical aspects completed. The engineering design is one of the last aspects on the technical side to be completed. And you may wish to know that one of the things we were agreed on when we spoke even to President Timmer's predecessor was the involvement of another bilateral and the use, more particularly, of the China CELAC funds, which is about $50 billion. The problem has been that the countries of the region have not really been fully acquainted with the process by which access could be had to those funds. And therefore, there has been an agreement between the two sides that a meeting will be held in January the 22nd, in which all the eligible countries to the fund will participate, and they will work with the Chinese to understand exactly how the funds might be accessed. And once that is done, we can then tie the two ends together. One is the completion of those designs, and the other being the formal application for a loan to complete the road. The road is pretty critical to Guyana, and as regards Guyana, Brazil, it can be a major potential means of integrating Brazil and Guyana, especially in relation to the capacities, the agricultural exports, the processing capacity of Roraima, the region of Roraima. It will provide Guyana with markets into Brazil, into Roraima, but in terms of volume, a larger volume of movement will be involved so as to get Brazil's products, agricultural and otherwise, into the international markets by a route that will turn out to be a lot cheaper than the route that they currently use. So it is of value to both sides.
Okay, and if we can move on now to oil and gas. Brazil's head of state indicated that Brazil has been looking at our oil and gas exploratory works with great interest, and they also expressed an interest in Petrobras coming into the joint exploration activities in our exclusive economic zone. The president strongly said that the door is open to them.
Yes.
What does this mean in terms of how we move forward, in terms of brokering an agreement, in terms of exploration?
It means a great deal. As you know, since the discovery of commercial quantities of oil by ExxonMobil in the maritime space, there has been a number of additional discoveries, and you've got at least 5 of them have yielded results that are extremely positive commercially and extremely significant quantities. For that reason, we have been able to attract attention to the resource in the sense that many companies and countries are now interested in seeing what is going on in Guyana. And for that reason, there has been, for example, within the last quarter, a conference examining the prospects, the geological results, and that side. It is important, this discussion with Brazil, because one, for a number of reasons, including the strategic threat posed by Venezuela, many companies are not interested. And those that are interested are not, many of those that were interested didn't have the resources and weren't prepared to commit resources given the threat. Now that you've established that a company is operating there, that it is no longer a completely unknown space, it is now for us to try and attract other investors. This is a big issue. You don't really want to be dependent, and you will see from some of the discussions, some of which are silly, but some of the discussions taking place, that you don't want to be left in a situation where you're dependent only upon one major. So what you're looking at here is the need to encourage, by way of providing the policy space at Guyana's end for other entities to participate. Brazil, of course, being an immediate neighbor, and with a capacity in oil, a capacity, Petrobras is one of the majors in terms of deep sea drilling, and we have no doubt they can do the job. I could add that Petrobras has in fact participated in the conference. They were looking at the results, and it is now for the government of Brazil to give them clearance to move forward with whatever they see as commercially worthwhile. And we will lend them whatever assistance we can. There are, at least at this point in time, 2 other firms which have an interest. And we look forward to that. I think because of the points I mentioned before, many of these companies are only prepared to come forward now that there's a major in there. They don't want to be seen or to be left there on their own. So there's a major risk factor that has been removed, and that enables them now to come forward and participate.
Okay, I would love to dig deeper, but I'll speak with Minister of Natural Resources
Yes,
more on this.
yes.
I do have another question for you, and this is with regard to the border controversy with Venezuela. As you know, Brazil has been a very good friend of Guyana in this regard. Was this discussed at this meeting, and what are the current positions with regard? We're waiting on our...
on the UNSG to make a report and take a decision. He's been asked to choose from a menu, and he is still with that. In the meantime, the personal representative has been doing the rounds between ourselves and
What was it discussed with Brazil this morning?
the matter was raised with Brazil. As per normal, we as neighbors, we always have exchanges on this, and the president gave them an update on where we are, and Brazil, I don't think has indicated any movement. Well, not I don't think. Brazil has not indicated any movement from its traditional position, which is that the boundaries of the subcontinent should remain where they are. They had involved a lot of angst in getting there, and you don't want to create new chaos by moving to undo or unravel what has been achieved with such difficulty.